Hey guys, welcome back to some more Battlefield 6 news. Apparently Temporyal is doing some overtime this weekend because he dug up some more interesting things from the game files, and we also got a few things here and there from the leaks. But for the most part, I gotta say that the leaks that are popping up on Reddit and also on other social media, that's nothing really new and nothing that we hadn't seen before. So I didn't really spot anything that I did not talk about in a former video already. But today we're gonna go into the new things that Temporyal has found. So first of all, it seems like Operation Firestorm is returning in Battlefield 6 because he found hints to this, and this is apparently the previously unknown location in Turkmenistan. And its description suggests that it will also be integrated into the main game and into the lore of the game surrounding this conflict between NATO and Pax Armada. So maybe instead of having two pools of maps, one for the base game and one for Portal, this time they will include these Portal maps and these old Battlefield maps or remastered maps right away in the base game. So basically what they did afterward in 2042, where they added the Portal maps later on to the base game, maybe that's not what they want to do this time, but instead they add them right away into the normal pool of maps. And I gotta say, I'm not against this, so I'm really happy seeing Operation Firestorm return, because this is one of my favorite maps. And yeah, I'm just curious to see how this will be as another remaster, even though we had it as a remaster already. But it's a cool map, so I think it would fit well in Battlefield 6. Then another topic that Temporyal has brought up are the class signature weapons and the class signature traits. So the signature weapons was what we talked about when we talked about the class system already, that there is an open pool of weapons, but each class has its signature weapons where it gets a special perk or a special trait for them. And we're gonna look through this. I'm gonna post this right here for you so you can read through this as well. So it says for the assault class, the signature weapons will be the assault rifles, and when you use an assault rifle as an assault class soldier, you will have a faster switching to and from assault rifles, which is actually kind of interesting because in former leagues we've already seen that the assault class can use a second primary weapon instead of a gadget. And I think if you will play an assault rifle as your first primary weapon and then whatever other weapon as your second primary weapon, you will be able to switch relatively fast between them, at least if this perk also applies for this. But just from reading it, I think that this should be the case. So the assault class seems to be very, very strong and very versatile this time. Then the signature trait for the assault class is called enhanced mobility, and it reduces fall damage. Also no movement speed penalty resulting from a fall, and a faster sprint to shoot transition with all weapons. Then we have the engineer class, and here the signature weapon is personal defense weapons, so PDWs, like we had I think in Battlefield 4 as well. And here you will get improved hipfire control when using PDWs. So I'm guessing that it's not only the control but maybe also the accuracy that is increased with hip firing. But I'm always not sure if the PDWs are really a good fit for the engineer class. I always like to see LMGs for the engineer because I think it's just the perfect fit going with LMGs and engineer because it's such a heavy class or heavy focused class. But well, apparently they decided to go with the PDWs here. Let's see how this plays. And then the signature trait is explosive damage resistance, which reduces damage from explosives. Then for the support class, the signature weapon is LMGs here. So the support class in Battlefield 6 will be ammunition guy and healer at the same time again, and they're getting the light machine guns. And as someone who is sprinting in trying to revive people, I always feel like the SMGs or PDWs would be a better fit instead of the light machine guns. So I would like to see this always changed light machine guns and PDWs between support and engineer, just because I think it's definitely a better fit. Anyways, so what the signature weapon means for the support class is experienced with heavy gear and does not suffer sprint speed penalty with light machine guns. And then the signature trait is faster revive and drag speed, which totally makes sense for this class, of course. So faster at dragging down soldiers and faster at reviving them when stationary. Then the recon class has, of course, the sniper rifles as signature weapons, totally makes sense here. So you are an expert marksman who can stabilize aim by holding breath and can rechamber quicker between shots. This is definitely useful also holding breath. I'm not sure if the other classes though will not be able to hold breath, because the description sounds like the recon class will be the only class being able to hold breath with a sniper rifle, but that would be kind of strange if that would be the case. So I'm thinking this is probably just a part of the real description or something, so maybe it's just what we have in 2042 as well, where the recon class holds breath for a longer time or for an unlimited amount of time when using a sniper rifle. And then as a signature trait, we have aim spotting, and this is automatically spots enemies while aiming down sight. And I've talked about this in another video already, and I've talked about this for 2042 as well in different videos, that I think the spotting is a little bit too much. Also here in Battlefield 6, it seems like spotting is a bit out of hand already. Aiming down sight and then automatically spotting enemies, it just feels like a very overpowered mechanic, so you can just sit on the edge of the map and just aim down sights the whole time and spot everyone that is in your line of sight. I'm a bit on the fence with this one, because I'm not sure if this is really necessary. In addition to this, Temporyal is writing that the dual primary weapons we've seen in the leaks are not a bug. They're called Weapon Sling, and they are a feature available in the frontline path of the Assault class. And there's also an Assault ladder mentioned in the files, which is a gadget to help create new routes. Whatever that means, probably you can carry around a ladder and then get into a building or lean it to a wall to get to the upper floor or something. Like, I'm not sure, I've never seen this in any game, I believe. So it sounds interesting, definitely. And then in addition to this, because we're talking about the Assault class already, I've seen something on Reddit as well, a short clip from the gameplay leaks, where someone did shoot stationary and had good accuracy, and then they shot bunny hopping and the accuracy was basically all over the place. So it seems like there is actually a penalty in accuracy for bunny hopping. So when you do this or when you abuse it, you will probably hit nothing anymore, and your opponent who's stationary or who's not bunny hopping will have an advantage in accuracy over you because you got a penalty. So if this is true, I think this is a really good thing they implemented there, and it might prevent people from just hopping around and whatever kind of crazy movement people might come up with. And then something else, I'm gonna just squeeze this right in here because I think it kind of fits in here. What I've seen as well on Reddit is that people that are playing on console are writing that the game has mouse and keyboard support on consoles. I did not read this before in any of the other leaks or any of the data mining. Maybe I overlooked it, I'm not quite sure. There's so many leaks in data mining coming up. Sometimes things just slip through. But this time there were so many people writing about this, so I think this is true, and we will indeed get mouse and keyboard support on Xbox and on PlayStation. Will be interesting though how they will do this with the matchmaking, because right now in 2042, when you turn off crossplay and you're not playing against PC players, you can be sure that you're only playing against other people playing with a controller when you're on console. And this would not be the case anymore, because you will never know if the other one's using a controller or mouse and keyboard, even though you might only play with other, let's say, PlayStation players or Xbox players. So maybe this means that we will also get a input-based matchmaking in the new Battlefield game, but that's just guessing here, so not quite sure how they will do this with the matchmaking this time. Moving on, we have another leak from Temporyal, who is talking about a so-called tactical advice system this time that might be coming to Battlefield 6, but he's not quite sure about this. And according according to Temporyal, it serves as a fallback when no active squad order is given, letting players earn squad benefits and personal rewards. And squad leaders can override this advice at any time by setting their own orders. So this sounds like maybe an AI, maybe this is this kind of AI commander that was leaked before. So this sounds like an automatic system that will give squad orders if the squad leader is not giving any orders. So maybe the automatic system tells you to go to capture objective C, and when you get there and capture objective C, you will also get your rewards, and probably you will also get some additional bonus that will help you to level up your field specs and to get more score. But that's just a bit of guessing right here. And then if your squad is unable to complete an assigned tactical advice, it will eventually be replaced with another. I don't think they're talking about another squad here, but about another tactical advice. This is a bit of a funny description here. So if your squad is not following, you're replaced by another squad. No, you're getting a new tactical advice, I think. And then lastly, Temporyal has also given us some more details to the units or to the factions that we can expect in Battlefield 6. We've talked about this briefly before, that we have the NATO and some faction called Pax Armada, whatever that is. And Temporyal is writing that in the playtesting files, he has found 6 military units from regions like the UK, US, North Africa and the Balkans. And each unit has 4 named characters with unique voice lines and backstories. So probably what we've seen before when those characters were leaked. And again, this is the overview that Temporyal has posted. I'm not reading out all of this for you. If you want to read all of this, you can just stop the video here and read through this. So we're having NATO again, we're having Pax Armada again, and for the NATO we have a unit called United Albion, Coyote Squad and Desert Locusts. And then for Pax Armada we have Espada, Fireteam Yaga and Kahina unit, which Yaga and Kahina sounds a bit Russian or Eastern European, so maybe some of you guys in the comments were right that Pax Armada is actually like a Russian-backed faction or unit. And then one more small leak at the end. This was data mined as well like a week ago already, and it was not from Temporyal but from one of the Chinese or Russian leakers, I can't remember exactly. But take this with a pinch of salt, because I'm not quite sure if this is even true. I trust Temporyal a lot more here on this data mining than anyone else. So allegedly, these data miners have found hints that Battlefield 6, so the name Battlefield 6 was found in the game files connected to Battlefield Labs. But we don't know if this is just a placeholder or if the game will really be called Battlefield 6. We didn't get any official details about this yet. I think it would be the most logic name, to be honest, because I had already said in a former video that I hope they don't go with only Battlefield, because that's a terrible name for search engine optimization and for us as content creators as well, and also for people who want to look up information about the game. Because what the game would end up with is being called Battlefield 2025 by the creators and also by the players, because you have to give it somewhat of a name. So it would end up having the same fate as Modern Warfare 2019, that is still called Modern Warfare 2019 and not just Modern Warfare. So I think it's better to give it a name that makes it easier for players to find information about it, and I think Battlefield 6 would be just the most logic name for this. And just watching the gameplay that we're getting from the leaks, I gotta be honest that it also looks a lot like a Battlefield 6. So I hope they will go with this one and not with only Battlefield. And that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video again, and as always, tell me what you think about this in the comments below. And if you want to stay tuned for more content like this, be sure to subscribe. And I'm gonna see you in the next one. I'm the Catwoman and you are awesome.